Good evening. Good evening, good people. Pardon me. Welcome to Not Right, Not Wrong, everyone's favorite podcast on
Everybody.
92.6 The Spot. Everybody.
Spot.
The Spot. There's not one person who does not love this podcast. Everyone loves it. With me tonight, I have King Ja. Hello, King Ja.
Salutations, Empress.
Ja.
What's happening with you?
Everything's good. What's happening with you?
You know how I go. Anything above sea level. You dig me?
You dig. Dig.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
I feel it. Welcome to the space.
Thank you.
We also have Dark Mark. Darkness reigns supreme. How are you, young man?
Oh man, D1. Another day. Give thanks. Thanks God for all of us being in assembly. About to kick off another episode of this NRNW. It's good to be in your presence.
Yes, likewise. You
Already know it. Give thanks. Good to be in your presence. Good to see you both, gentlemen, looking good, smelling good. I mean, I guess you're smelling good. I don't know how you smell.
It's true.
Put that out there. We put that out there.
We put that out there, smelling good, all the good stuff. And if you haven't been with us before, I'm Tamika. Hello. I'm the lady in the space. Yes. Tamika, aka D1. And tonight is my topic.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going in.
Wouldn't have it any other way.
I'm happy to hear it because I'm ready to fight on tonight.
Oh boy.
I am. I'm ready to fight y'all because I know y'all gonna say some stuff tonight.
Uh-oh.
Don't we always?
Uh-oh.
So this is what happened. I had a young man ask me if I'm submissive. And I thought to myself, self.
What does self say to self? Yes.
I said, self, what is this young man trying to ask you? What is the purpose of this question? What is the meat and potatoes of this question? But then I said, self, ask him.
All right.
Ask him, because that feels like, I think women get asked that question all the time. And tonight, I'm going to ask you guys, I want to know if you're submissive, because I'm about sick of women being asked that question.
It's going to be a short show. All right, good night.
What y'all are laughing about? What is so funny?
That's true. Right? That's true. That's true.
Right.
Question.
Yep.
Question.
Let's wipe this smile off your faces.
Interesting question.
Very, very interesting. I agree. Never heard it phrased or put like that. Never heard the juxtapose to all right. It's different.
Yep.
Definitely
leave it up to your girl. Leave it up to D1. Because I said I'm gonna flip this on its head tonight. So King Ja, the married man in the space, the leader of all men and of all relationship-oriented men.
Shit, you put a lot on his shoulders. You better answer right. You better answer right.
There's so much helium in the air, man. So much helium. There's too much helium in the air, man.
King Ja, I know you got something good for me. Tell me something good, Ja. Are you?
Tell her something good.
Submissive?
You got a lot of weight on your shoulder.
There's too much helium in the air right now, man.
You better air it out. You better air it out.
The air, God, you give me too much to air out, man.
Don't start scratching your head, rubbing your
I'm gonna do
beard.
it. Look away, look away, look away,
Do the look away.
look away.
Listen, we might need to bring her into the space today because don't tell no stories on these people Black radio. Are you submissive?
I'm not a submissive man. That's not my nature. I ain't a submissive man. You know, it's but I can put it in context though, because um I use the word dutiful man. It's a form of submission because it's, you know, my role as a husband, father, and the man of the house is there's a duty in that. So if you want to make it synonymous with submission, it could be it is a form of submission because I'm submitting as a dutiful husband to do my part in keeping a family dynamic and a foundation strong. Working to provide and contribute, assisting in raising our daughter, doing certain chores in the house, taking care of certain household matters that men are typically solely responsible to do, i.e., maintaining the grass or maintaining the sanitation of the house, maintaining the security of the house, checking the boiler, things that, you know, just to name some things that my role is specifically assigned for me to do. It's all about provision and security. All that, it's part of it. Maintenance, provision, and security. That's all part of it. It's not always necessarily about being a majority breadwinner, because I'm not. Ange does make more than me, but it doesn't make my role or my work or my value in our union any less because she makes more. But a lot of people equate finances as the end all be all as to who should be head of household, who should be submissive. It's not of my nature to be submissive. But so I like to say that I am dutiful. You know, that's the word I would use, dutiful, as
Dutiful.
in the best of my ability. Yeah, so honoring her, respecting her, that goes without saying. But submission, nah, that's not a word I would necessarily use. So no.
But you are saying that dutiful might be interchangeable with submission.
Yeah. If you want to put it, if it's put in certain context, yeah. I mean, if you can look at it that way. Yeah, you know, I'm open to that, it being looked that way.
You heard it here first, Black Radio. King Ja is in fact a submissive.
I wouldn't go that
He
far.
didn't say that.
Not quite.
I mean,
I mean,
it's philosophy though. He used the word dutiful. He said dutiful can be seen as being synonymous with submissive.
Yeah,
And he is in fact dutiful, in which case he is also submissive.
Well, at D1 with grinning ear to ear, would love to spit it that way and say,
change the narrative.
But it's D1.
I would like to.
This is her topic.
It's her
It's
topic.
my topic.
No doubt.
You know,
She can
so
spin it,
spin
it around, DJ it, mix it, cut it.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a
scratch it.
space to mix it and contextualize it as he pleases. It's all right. It's her episode.
But you know, Ja do the editing, right?
I do know that. I do know that.
I mean,
that. Which is why I'm gonna intersperse it all throughout this episode, so that if he edits it, he's gonna chop it to pieces.
I gave you that assist, Ja. See, I gave you the alley-oop right there.
You know what I mean?
Kobe and Shaq.
Yeah, Mark, I'm gonna call you later on to do a little video loop.
Holla at me. You know the number.
That's what we doing.
Holla at your boy.
Okay. Okay, watch. I'm gonna put my own episode out. I'm gonna put my own, and you know, I still got the teddy bears from season 3 promo. There's gonna be a teddy bear in each box. There's gonna be a John teddy bear. There's gonna be a C1 teddy bear. I'm gonna control everything.
Them teddy bears gonna be submissive to you. They speak only when you want them to speak.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Interesting. That's how you see submission. We're gonna come back to that, John. Ooh, this is gonna be so much fun. I'm having a good time.
I see you.
C1, Mr. Mark.
What up?
How are you?
Oh man, I'm alive and well, D1. Good to see you. You're looking gorgeous as usual.
Oh, thank you. You too. You glowing and stuff.
Oh man.
Is this
Thank
what
you.
submission does to you? Submission helps you glow?
Yeah, you see that. That and lotion.
Right, fair.
Submission
Either
lotion.
Submission lotion. C1, tell the people all the ways in which you are submissive.
No, I don't know. I've never understood that to say that I am that. I've never ever heard of that being something associated with males. Now, in 2023, I'm sure that may have changed for a lot of people and a lot of couples, but I've never heard that word even associated with a male. So, like we said before 5 minutes ago, this is definitely an interesting topic because I never even thought of that being flipped. You know, in any relationship that I've seen, even growing up, you know, first relation you'll see is with your parents. And, you know, I wouldn't say my mom was submissive, but we clearly knew that my dad was the head of the household. You understand? And as much as he may have conferred to my mom for certain decisions and things of that nature, we knew he was that. So I never, in any other relationship, aunts and uncles, it was clearly the man that had the role. But the funny thing about that, without it actually being said, I think sometimes males can be submissive if it's situational. Case in point, but it's never said or understood or defined as such. So case in point. So he may have been the breadwinner. It's a couple guys, the breadwinner. You understand? She had a job too, but you know, she definitely wasn't making enough to take care of the household. So he loses the job. She a rider, she still want to rock out with him. She see his worth or value in him or what it is that he wants to be. So it may take a little stretch for him to find another job. So now he's home. You understand? So he may not be doing necessarily what he used to do before because he associated with how he felt with how much he made. So now, you know, his ego may have been deflated somewhat. He feels a little different. So now he's home now. He's on a PS5. He's watching TV. He may not be doing the dishes. He may not be cutting the grass. He may not be making the bed. All the things that he used to do before. Now she's up and gone. He needs to do that. So I think in that situation, now she's the breadwinner. You know, he's kind of relying on her for her to, you know, hey, listen, you know, could you take care of this? Could you take care of that? Now, he may or may not feel otherwise, but I think in that situation, women look at the male different to kind of say, at the time I get up and go, you should be going too. I shouldn't have to come home to see anything being done. I think in that regard, that may be some level of submissiveness to some extent, because, you know, people feel some kind of way when they lose their job, like they can't hold their own. But it's just a matter of time before he come back around. I think there's a level of submissiveness in that, but I wouldn't say I'm submissive. I think that whatever woman that is, she needs to feel that I'm worthy to take my lead. If she don't feel that I'm worthy, then I'm not the right one for her. I don't think it's just a given. I don't know if that comes up on the date. This young man was bold to ask you that. I don't know if you ever answered him, but I don't know if that comes up on the date, like first, second date, are you submissive? But I think I have to prove myself worthy to her. And based on my actions, my behavior, and how we get along, we'll fall into that role. And I'll see that, wow, she's going to take my lead because I have proven worthy. Once you define it and say, well, she's submissive or he's submissive, you know, then I think that creates problems, depending upon who the person is or who's mature enough to just hold that. It may be some men that just own that and say, yes, I am. Then there may be some males that say, nah, I'm not. And I'm sure it may be some pride involved. I'm going to read something that I just came across that you may find interesting. What does it say? It says that in society, there are various misconceptions surrounding submissive men. People often associate submissive behavior with weakness and a lack of confidence, but that's not necessarily the case. Being a submissive man doesn't necessarily mean a lack of strength or self-assuredness. In fact, many submissive men possess a great deal of emotional resilience and inner confidence. Being submissive as a man often comes down to personal preference rooted in a guy's sexuality and personality. So someone has definitely been analyzing this. I'm going to just read one more thing. It says, what attracts men to submission? It said, many men may be attracted to submission for many reasons. Often men are submissive due to a desire for emotional connection, a need to relinquish control, or an intrinsic pleasure in being dominated. Psychology Today explains that 3/4 of submissives say that they were born that way and have always experienced pleasure from specific types of pain. Now, that's going a whole lot deeper, and I'm sure you're going to find even less males that may admit to that, because that's kind of going off the rails and into bedroom stuff.
Yeah.
But I mean, funny to this day, 2023, me being 52 years old, I've never heard it other than it being a woman. I really haven't. So I mean, I don't really know to say to it other than for me personally, I would have to prove worthy to her for her to feel that she could be submissive to me. And if you grow up in certain cultures and certain religion, and definitely, you know, in certain places, that's a birthright. The woman is going to be submissive from birth. You understand? Here, it's a little different in Western civilization and how we do things, but in certain countries and certain places, this what comes with you being born as a woman. You're going to be submissive to your husband. So in those cultures, the man don't even have a choice. It's not even heard of for the male to be submissive. So it's just funny how this works and the dynamic of it from one place to another. And the only thing that's separating these thoughts and ideologies is water. You know, but everybody's different.
So, I mean, I want to push the sex thing a little bit further back. I want to get into it though. I do want to get into it. But I want to hold it for a second.
Go ahead. Come on.
But John, let me ask you,
Mm-hmm.
like, I mean, I think I want to hear from both of you on this, but I'm gonna start with you, John.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that I posed this question to you guys and we all laughed. I laughed as well, right? It was like, oh, and coming into it, I thought, this is going to be funny. I'm gonna flip this on its head. The fact that we all had a response, like we don't never hear it this way. And we know we have a concept of what patriarchal means, right? It's a word, at least now, when the three of us were growing up, I don't think we heard that word. I've heard it a million times within the past 4 or 5 years, right? It's popular now about what it means to be in a patriarchal society.
Big time.
What happened?
That's a big time buzzword.
Big time buzzword. Now we hear it all the time. I mean, there's a few buzzwords that are going around all the time at this point. And I think, each decade has its own set of buzzwords, but we have that. And to Mark's point that he just brought in, and I want to hold on to this part of it, is that in certain societies, it's not a question of what the roles will look like and what gender will submit to what gender. And he mentioned male dominated societies and expectations of males being in a patriarchal role. But we don't have a lot of examples, at least I don't, but we do have some examples of what it looks like. Like the movie Woman King comes to mind because it's based on a real culture of how women had been warriors and the expectation of women to go out and fight and defend their society. That to me, I don't know, is there some submission in that? Does that dominance imply some level of submission someplace else, even though I think that society was ruled by a man, by a king? But how does patriarchy interact with this concept of submission and the fact that we all laughed at the thought of asking a man if a man is submissive?
Because it doesn't it does not equate, submission does not equate to the masculine frame. Masculine frame is steadfast, leader, head of household. This is typically what they equate someone who's in his masculine frame is, and submission is not part of that vocabulary. Although some of the actions, and like I explained to you earlier, as being in duty is a form of submission. Being dutiful to your wife and your family is a form of submission. And actually, Viola Davis' character, she was carrying out her duty as a leader of that army, as she was being dutiful, carrying out the orders of her king. So that it is a form of submission still, because you're carrying out the order. The king laid down the order and she carried it out.
So then are men in the military submissive?
Yeah, to their lieutenants and generals, absolutely.
Oh, so men can be submissive then to other men, but men can't be submissive to women. Yeah. Generally,
that's right. Yeah, that's right. Because that's not something that's relatable to masculinity in general society. That's why. So it's kind of a concept where it's a weird concept when you talk about flipping it on its head. Men being submissive, that's not a conversation that men have.
Okay. So you mentioned some qualities like steadfastness, head of household. Mm-hmm. Can a woman mm-hmm. be in feminine energy mm-hmm. and be steadfast, mm-hmm. be a leader, and be a head of household?
Mm-hmm. There's matriarchal led households. I've been in some. My household matriarchal. Obviously, I was raised by a single mother. Of course, she was my leader. I carried out her orders. You know what I'm saying? So there are matriarchal households. I have extended mothers who led a matriarchal household. The father wasn't there to pay. The patriarch wasn't there. But of course, in an ideal household, is the matriarch and the patriarch. So it's a fusion, it's a balance. It's the king and the queen leading their castle, the queen by the king's side, and in some cases the partnership is typically not so much that the queen is bowing down to a king. The queen is advising the king, and the king carries out the mission or the order. but he definitely consults with the queen though.
Okay.
So, yeah, so it's so, but so so that whole thing, so the that's a mission word. Well, for one, that submission word for one is typically not in a man's vocabulary in his general thought. Whereas for the women, um, I think today's women don't necessarily like that word. Because I know you don't like that word. That's why you ain't answer that boy's question. Now, why you ain't answer his question?
And I know I asked like twice if she asked this question. She still didn't answer. I digress. We're
But
gonna
wait,
find out before the
I'm gonna
show's over.
I'm gonna answer this, but I need more information before I answer.
Go
But
ahead.
C1, Cleopatra led armies. Cleopatra is a
You
feminine.
see Mark's face?
She's a female. Was her army not submissive to her? If I bring in Ja's point of militia and military, this was a female commander. She was a female queen.
So I'm gonna go back to your original question and then come around to that. I think the reason we laughed at first, all three of us laughed once you said can men be submissive, because again, we never heard of that. Now, all of us are well traveled. We've been in a lot of circles. We know a lot of people from different places, different countries, and things of that nature. And like you said, we know where places are where that's not even thought of, where the male will be submissive. It's not even heard of. Matter of fact, to some extent, that may get the woman killed. You understand? It is that dominant, depending upon. But again, here where we are in Western civilization, we do things a whole lot different. But I think the word is too heavy. You understand? Now, like Josh said, a lot of women now don't like it. And I ain't gonna say all men, because clearly we see some examples of men being submissive. I'm sure that there's a lot of males that don't like it. I think the word is just too heavy, because the first thing you may think about is weakness. And I've been in a lot of conversations with a lot of men. We just have a male talk, two of us, three of us, four or five of us, me, John, the rest of the crew from um the nonprofit, the 244. We was just sitting around and talking male talk. This doesn't come up. Hey, John, let me ask you, man, you submissive? It doesn't come up. No one ever, yeah, man, let me get home, man, because my wife's submissive. We would look at him different. Like, wait, what? She said, what? Now, depending upon how we define what submissive is, I don't know any guy in any relationship, right, what we consider to be male driven, right, in that relationship, where he doesn't consult with his wife. I don't know if that's being submissive. I knew a guy, he was gonna buy a new car recently. Definitely had the means to buy the new car, finance, everything like that. So he was at work going through figuring this all out, how he was gonna get it financed, on the phone with them. Let me check with my wife first. What does that mean? That just mean he's caring enough before he pull up to the driveway and she look, what the F? I think it's the word. Does that mean he's submissive? He got his own money. He could have bought the car. He didn't need her to say yay or nay. But he said, let me check with her first. Now, what if she had said no? Would he not have got the car? I think it's defining it. Or is it, in most of the decisions in the household, the male get the final say? I'm just trying to figure out how all this goes. You understand? So I think it's just that word submissive. I think we laughed at first because it's definitely not something we associate with males. And in regards to Cleopatra, I don't think it's necessarily a gender thing. I think both males and females are capable of doing great things depending upon the team that you build. And she definitely built up a great team to do what she did during her time. But I'm sure a lot of the people she was getting intelligence from, in regards to what she did were males. I wouldn't say it was all women, and I don't think it's a gender thing. I really don't. I think it's just that word that sounds heavy, man. And definitely now, like you, D1, you don't like the word. I think it's just that.
She don't like the word.
I
It's
didn't
the
say anything
word.
yet. I didn't
It's
say
the
I liked it
All
or
right,
word.
all right,
not.
all right, all
It's not
right.
even so let's say for conversation's sake, right? Without even the word be defined, D1, you get married, right? John and I come down, dinner and everything like that, having a whole nice
Will you
time.
be flower girls at my wedding?
Like I said, John and I come down, you know what I'm saying? We meet the mister and all that. Hey, so hey, how you doing, man? Mark, how you doing this show? Hey, yeah, I like the show. I watched the show. You know, we sitting down, we talking, we rapping. Hey, listen, babe, go grab blah 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 blah. You go get it, come back. Sitting down, we talking again. Hey, babe, could you blah 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 blah? Go get it, we come back. What is that? Is that submissiveness or you know? So let's say after that we're gonna go to watch a football game somewhere, right? Let's say we're gonna go do that. Then hey, you ask him, hey babe, what time we gonna leave? We probably leave in like 30 minutes. Let me chop it up, you know, with your co-host a little bit more. So any and everything that comes up, you referring to him for the answers. Does that mean you submissive? You see what I'm saying? I'm just trying to figure out what that's. We're not gonna look at you any less. You in a loving relationship. Clearly, you married the dude.
Mm-hmm.
So how you define submissiveness may be different than how I define it or how I saw. I just never thought that was something that was associated with males. But now in 2023, things are a whole lot different. That's the point I'm trying to get across.
Yeah. I feel like I might be in some level of agreement with C1. It's happened a few times. I think today may be one of those times.
All right. All right. This is a
Go
historic
figure.
moment. All right.
Go figure. So I did answer the question, but the way I started with answering the question is, how are you defining submissive? What does that mean?
Mm.
And I do think that the word we, whoever we are, the world, they, the people, whatever,
Mm-hmm.
have given the word so much weight
Mm.
that it feels like demeaning and diminishing.
Feels guilty.
It feels guilty. It feels all kinds of
Yeah.
things. But what I don't understand is that why, if it feels hard for males to kind of embody that word, why would it be tossed around to women? Why would it be tossed around to ladies? Why would it be tossed around to wives, to females, whatever the language is? And that to me feels like a big reflection of patriarchy. It feels like if the world or if the society or the communities that we were in were led by women, then women might then toss that word submission around at men. It feels like someone somewhere along the line made a decision, male bodies made a decision and decided that women were going to be the fairer and or weaker sex and they will submit. And I'm gonna go hard right now, y'all. I'm gonna go, y'all know I do this sometimes, y'all know sometimes I go extra, but the word submission to me feels so close. It's not the same. I don't want to diminish this next word I'm about to say,
Mm-hmm.
but it feels so close to some of the ideals. I'm not even going to say the word because it's I don't
I
want to
know what
diminish
you're
the word.
thinking about.
You know what I'm thinking?
I know what
But
you're
it,
thinking
it
about.
feels so close to the way white people have held Black people and people of color at
Mm.
bay. And that's how it feels in my body when a man will casually ask that. And I'm like, hold on. That's a lot. That is a lot. Now, I do have a health. I know Fantasia was in the news like years ago, maybe 4 or 5 years ago, because she was like, I submit to my whoever husband, boy, I think it was her husband, I don't know. And people were up at arms. And I just think the word has so many connotations. And I think a lot of women have experienced various types of abuse under the name of submission, the worst type of like things that are not submissive, but is actually abusive, but under that realm. But to me, I think we could learn a lot about submission from the BDSM community, from the sexual community, from the lifestyle community, which I'm not a part of. Let me be clear.
Gas station.
Yeah.
But from what I understand,
I see you, Ja.
I saw you too, Ja.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh my God. From what I understand from the BDSM community is the concept of submission and domination is not gender specific, that you can be a male dom or female dom, that you can be a male sub or female sub. But there's a responsibility of being a dom. Being a dom means I'm educated, I'm aware, I'm knowledgeable. It means I'm working towards, I need to gain the respect of my sub. Submission is not granted to me. I earn submission. And that earning of submission is building of trust. That earning of submission is taking into account the needs of my submissive. It's not just they give me whatever I want. It's a relationship. And that submissive can take back their power at any time. That submissive is not powerless. That submissive is not weak. That submissive has made a choice. And that dom is standing in that responsibility, whether it's a male or female on either end. I think that's beautiful. And if we're talking about that, I don't have a problem with being a submissive. I don't have a problem with submitting to someone who's taking me into consideration. Go off, because that is a circle. I'm here for it, but that's not what happens.
Let me ask you something. And this just your opinion. I ain't even gonna say most women or some women. I'm not even gonna preface it. So, since we touched on sexuality, I mentioned sexuality with what I found, you understand, in regards to dominance and submissiveness. This is outside of bills being paid in a household and things of that nature. So now, we're talking about the bedroom. So let's say you and the mister and, the guy that you with. So let's say for conversation's sake that he let you use a strap-on on him, right? He's being extremely submissive. You use your strap-on on him. Are you still capable to look at him the same way and just switch that up, role play, go back to everything be fine, perfectly normal the next morning? Or will he lose some sense of his manhood, him being that submissive and you doing that to him?
So theoretically, okay. Before I answer that, I do have to say that I think that being a dom or submissive does not have anything to do with your sexual identity. Like you could be submissive and be straight.
Absolutely.
Okay, fine.
Absolutely.
Fine. So to answer this question, could I, after having engaged in this activity, the next day still have enough respect to allow that man to step back in a role of dom? Theoretically, I could say yes. I think I could.
Okay.
Because to me, those things are not, they're not necessarily, I don't necessarily see that. This is so theoretical. And if one day
Nah,
something changes, y'all don't don't be like, but you said
oh, you know we're gonna do that.
this is
You know we're gonna do that.
this is so in my head, and I don't know. Like I don't know how I would really respond in the in that moment. But what someone engages in for sexual pleasure doesn't necessarily demean them in my eyes.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I think I could.
Okay.
Could you? Could you allow me? Forget it. Forget it. I'm not gonna finish.
Nah, you already know I'm gonna say no.
No.
You already that's not even a conversation. Hey babe.
John's like,
Hey,
no.
hey
Well,
babe, listen. Hey babe, listen, let me talk to you for a minute. Hey, what's up, babe? Listen, I was thinking, women always have something different they want to mention in the bedroom. They always touch your face right here. I was thinking, hey, what you was thinking about with it? Let me go get the drinks and all that, take some shots for it. Nah, it's different. What? How different? I was in the store. What store? One of those stores. Oh, word, what you got? Let me see it. Oh, nah, I was what?
I mean, but the candles are lit. You
No,
got
but
some.
again, like even with a lot of viewers, just like D1 said, this is not taking anything away from anybody. This is my opinion. Whatever you do in your bedroom, you are grown. You can do whatever you like. You understand? This is just not one of those things that just come up. In God talk, that's not one of those things that's just not gonna come up. But this is just me speaking for me. That's a big no.
I think it, John, the nighttime don't have nothing to do with the daytime, right? You fine.
Nah, but that's from person to person. There may be someone that answered that different and be like, nah, ain't no way I'm gonna look at my man the same if he let me boom, boom, boom. You understand what I'm saying? You answered that how you see fit. You'll be able to change it and be like, nah, I won't look at him any different the next morning or however many times y'all partake in that. Someone may answer that different. And we getting everybody watching the show. It's gonna all be a different opinion. I'm interested in hearing about it. You guys that's watching, type in them questions when you see it. Type it in. Let us know what you
Let us
think.
know in the comments
Let us
whether or
know in the
not
comments
in the comments. This is a good one.
what
you
you
can be
think.
pegged
Drop
the
the
night
comments.
before.
Listen,
Good one.
put it in. Yo, what's
You should see at least 100 comments behind this. Good one.
John gonna be checking them comments like, yo.
Again,
Yeah, but
everybody's different. But like you said, there's a total difference. Everyone different. You may be able to separate those lines.
yeah, I don't know. I think I could. Sexuality to me is not I don't know. I don't think I again, theoretically, I don't think it's connected to my idea of
Theoretically, it's coming up a lot tonight, D1.
Because I just don't want to get caught in a lie later. I don't want to.
No, I mean, we don't know what's going in your bedroom. I mean,
You might be like, I
that's
done
not
heard
gonna
some
come
things.
up. I mean, I don't know how many drinks you need for us to have our talk, me, you, and John. I don't know how many drinks. Yo, let me tell you, fellas, what you think? So I bent this dude over. Oh, nah, we gonna stop that right there. We gonna stop that right there. We gonna stop that right there. And then at that point, we're gonna cue the bartender.
Yeah.
Cut her off. She's talking too much.
Done.
That's the last one. That's the last one.
That's the last one.
That's the last one.
That's the last one. And then, we're going to get you water after, nothing but, and then skip from there.
We're going to skip. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? I mean, regardless of what, and nothing, and above all else, there's always, oh my God, what's the word that I'm looking for? Please help me. When there's some sort of
levels, layers.
No, it's one word that I'm looking for. It's
Balance.
double standard
Standard.
Oh,
in regards to that. You understand?
yeah.
Now, let's just say John and I, we're at the bar, same situation, right? Yo, John, remember, oh man, remember such and such? You were in high school? Yeah, I remember. Oh man, yeah, I bent over the other night. That conversation is just going to continue on. You understand? You see how that works? Oh, what? Yeah, I thought she ain't moved. She back. Boom, boom. We continuing on. But it's different. You see now you here with us. You know, you one of the NRNW. Yeah, fellas. Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
I
I want to
episode.
share. Why I can't share?
Ah, listen. You know, we all come with different biases and different things of that nature. It's a double standard. It exists.
You can share with us,
Yeah,
but don't judge me. You can share with us. No
I'm gonna share. I'm gonna share.
judgment.
John, what you think about sexuality and submission?
No, I want to say this actually. Taking sexuality out of it. How you just broke it down, the concept of submission was, in my opinion, perfectly well said. And I think that if people understand the true concept of submission between two people, between a couple, between a pair, um, that word wouldn't feel so weighted on women. You know what I'm saying? So I think you just gave a lesson tonight. So I hope women are listening to how you broke down the concept of submission, and they
Men
get
and women.
that part, and so don't feel weighted on them, because there's a lot of women out there that don't like that word because it feels weighted on them, because they equate that to the abuse of submission, to, like you said.
Yeah.
I think you broke it. I don't need to repeat what you said, because you broke it down perfectly. That's how,
Theoretically.
that's how we need to understand the concept of submission amongst two people who are in relation to each other.
Yeah.
Um,
The way I broke it down, would it be helpful for men too?
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So, because yeah, men understand. It'll help men understand that there's a responsibility. And Mark said it himself. You have to be worthy, and there's a response. You said responsibility. Mark mentioned worthiness. You have to be worthy to have a woman submit to you. There's a responsibility there, and there's a worthiness there. No, not every man is worth that. Who are you as a man? Who are you in your character? Who are you in your aura? Who are you in your energy? Because you don't have to broadcast it and pound your chest and say, "I deserve it." Women, you'll attract someone who will automatically give that to you if you carry yourself in a certain way.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But the other part of that, what I said, Jai, is that I don't think that it's gender specific. I think that that cycle, like say for instance, I think that, and I might get in trouble for this, but and a lot of relationships that I've been in, I think I'm like the emotional leader. And I think a lot of women might feel that, right? A lot of women might feel that they are the emotional leader or the spiritual leader or the religious leader or the prayer warrior or something of that nature. And that in our Western society doesn't get valued as much as who is the breadwinner, who is doing, the heavy lifting. Like there is a way that certain responsibilities get weighted as better, as more valuable than other things. But keeping the spiritual temperature, keeping the emotional temperature of a family, of a household, is, in my opinion, one of the most important responsibilities. And if you are not up to par with me, I think you do need to submit to me. And I don't see you as being any less of a man. Like we talk about alpha men, we don't talk about beta men and sigma men, but everybody can't be an alpha woman or alpha male. And so sometimes you have to put this is another buzzword, ego. You have to put your ego aside. And I don't villainize ego. Like some people like ego death, you have to kill it. No, I think egos are valuable because I think they are also a sense of self. I think the issue with ego is an overactive or an underactive ego. And that's what I believe. And so, but sometimes I think the world tells us, oh, as a man, this is what you're supposed to be. As a woman, this is what you're supposed to be. And I don't have an issue with a man submitting, with my man submitting to me when I am in a place that I can offer. I don't think submission has to be static. And I think again, this is to Mark's point. Like, yo, Mark, you came through with some things I can really relate to.
As
But
usual.
I don't think it has to be static. I think submission, if you come in, if I get married and you come in my place and you meet, my husband and you see me deferring, oh babe, when are we leaving? What are we doing? You
Mm-hmm.
might see that on this particular day, and another day you might come in and you might see it flipped.
Mm-hmm.
I agree, 1,000%.
Mm-hmm. That's our household.
1,000%.
That's our
That
household.
1,000%.
Yeah, you
I
100.
mean,
You
couple of
100.
episodes back and a lot of time I've always said I've never believed the whole alpha male beta male. I don't know if there's a C. Maybe
It's
it is,
Sigma.
right?
It's Alpha, Beta, Sigma.
Oh, that's it, only those three.
Yeah, yeah. Beta,
Yeah.
beta, beta's supposed to be the weak men, spineless men. The alpha is the beat your chest. I'm the king of the
So I
world.
always, a couple of episodes back, I said I never believed in that because everybody's relationship is different. You understand? And as a woman, you know what it is that you like in a male. And every single day or at certain times, he's going to display every single one of those characteristics at some point. But at the time upon which you may want him to be A, he may not be that. Then you may, oh my God, he ain't no alpha or he ain't no this. And then at some point, he may be. And once you start characterizing it with all these different things that come up, then you're going to try to see fit to have your relationship meet that criteria. Should never, like, one of the things that I always say, you can never bring any standards upon which social media defines into your relationship because you're going to be dead at the door because you're trying to meet something that someone else defined that a million plus people may have liked, and you think, wow, that's how I should be. It just has to be between these two individuals, whatever it is they speak about when they talk, whatever it is they do in their bedroom when they're intimate, and whatever it is they define a relationship to be, and it has to be between those two people. Even your expectations may change. It all depends. Everything is situational, and it seems like it's changing every single day. Now, just to go back a second, this should never lead towards abuse. Submissiveness is definitely not abuse, because abuse is abuse. Anything that could get either party put in jail is abuse. I know that, you know that. We know people that have been in an abusive relationship. We knows what that looks like. But that's totally different from what it is we saying that you should be or look for in a relationship. But your expectations may change. You never know where you may find yourself. Who
Yeah,
knows?
yeah, yeah. Fellas, we're about to close up pretty soon. Ja, any final thoughts, final words?
Another great topic as usual. But just want to say, women are more spiritually astute. I mean, that's bestowed upon them by the Most High God as part of their femininity, as part of their power. Um, Spiritually astute, clairvoyance, sixth sense, gut feeling whatsoever, and that's the very thing. That's the very thing that women provide in a relationship when they partner up with a man. That's sort of covering, holding context. So in this sense, that protects the man. I give. I've experienced that in my house. I've experienced that in my household. And so yeah, so that's and for men who are spiritually astute, that's a man tapping into their feminine. So being spiritually astute is a feminine feminine energy, is a feminine power. It's a feminine I forget what's
Characteristic? I don't
yeah,
know.
yeah, for lack of a better term, character. That's not the word I was looking for, but I'll use that for lack of a better
Okay.
term. Yeah, so yeah, quick story, just to give an example. And used her intuition to prevent me from being in a situation. I was hanging out with a friend of mine. I was about to hang out with a friend of mine rather, and I called her and I said, she said, "What you doing tonight?" This is when we was dating. I said, "What you doing tonight?" I said, "I'm gonna hang out with my boy at such and such bar." And she just said, "Don't go." Now this wasn't a don't go like, "Oh baby, don't go, come see me" kind of thing. It wasn't that.
Hmm.
No, it wasn't that. And that moment we connected when she said, "Don't go." I said, "Yeah, don't." She said, "No, don't go."
Wow.
It wasn't that typical girlfriend whiny. Don't go. It was nah, don't go.
Grounded, don't
Yeah,
go.
yeah. It was very. Thank you. Very grounded. Very grounded. So she knew something, and sure enough, I didn't. I thought I lied to him. I said, "Yo, I gotta do something." So he called me the next morning. He said, "Yo, the joint got raided. Spot got raided.
Wow.
Yeah, spot got raided. Cops threw everybody in the precinct." So
Mm.
he called me like late that morning. Say, "Yo, yeah, they had a." He's like, "Yeah, I'm finally out. They had to straighten them things out. You know, I got to get bailed out, stuff like that. But yeah, good thing you ain't come. They raided the joint."
Wow.
Yep, yep, yep.
One of those spots, huh?
Yeah, one of those spots.
I know the drill.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But she had no clue where I was going. She just said, "Don't go." And I said,
Mm.
"Yeah." I said, "All right." I said, "All right." So we connected right there. I said, "Yeah." I said, "All right." I said, "All right, I ain't gonna go."
You didn't even question it. You felt it.
Yeah. Because because when you, I guess I could say I tapped into my feminine, so I felt what she was saying. Like this wasn't this, like I said again, this wasn't the whiny. Why you going? It wasn't that. It was don't go.
You got one more time.
Yeah. But yeah,
I let it go. I let it
yeah,
go before.
yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah, yeah. Wasn't that. So don't mind, but
yeah,
that's all
okay, again and again.
right.
Flag on the play. Like,
But no, I'm done. I'm done. That's it.
that was
Nah,
a good
listen,
story.
I think that I think that, you know, as males, we're just born with, when we tell a story that involves a woman, we have to use that voice.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know what it is. We have to. Yo, let me tell y'all what happened the other day, right? So I'm coming out the train station, this girl, where you got? We always have, I don't know what it is. We never maintain the same level.
But they
Station.
ridicule our voice too, though. They ridicule our voice too, though.
Yeah,
They
We would
ridicule
never
it.
do that.
but
Yes,
We
y'all
would
do.
never.
it's always whining. Why no man? Yo. Nah, sorry. Flip side of that. Flip
Mhm.
side of that. Whenever we use the whiny voice, it's always something we don't like. You understand? Case in point. Oh man, listen, man. I had to tell you a couple of birthdays ago, man. The missus took me. You see, nothing changed. She said, "Mark, come here. I got something for you." It's all, if it's anything we like, our voice stay the same. Always. Always be. Yo, I went, turned to the driveway. She said, "Mark, open the door." Open the door. What's this for me? Yeah, this for you. Oh my God. Same. But anything different? Yeah, I came out. I said, "Yo, who put dent in the car? The car get a dent." You know how the car got a dent.
Yeah, y'all do us dirty.
Why we do? I don't know. I think we're born with that. We can't tell. The story don't even sound. The story. The story don't sound right unless
they do it to us too, man. They do it to us
for
too.
sure. For
They
sure.
do.
I was talking to somebody and they imitated my voice to me. Don't you ever. That is not how I sound. Do not do that. But we don't, I mean, what do we do to y'all? We make all your voices get deep. So, you know,
Yeah.
what would we do? Like, baby, first of all, I think we change our voices too. We'd be like, you know, so I was saying to him, baby, do you think we could go on vacation? We've been on vacation forever. I'd really like to go. And he was like, we ain't got no money. You know, I had to go get the car.
Yep.
So I think we changed both of our voices.
Yeah, we do it to each other.
Yeah, we do that. We do that.
But yes, yeah, once again, another great topic, Empress. Another great topic. Another great topic as usual.
Yeah, D1, great topic. All of you listening, all of you watching, all of our loyal fans, subscribers, and everything like that. This was a great episode, great topic. A lot of food for thought upon which you could take back to, you know, whomever you see fit, or share, or bring on some other subscribers and people who want to rock with NRNW. We're doing it. We got more topics to come, but this was great, D1. And just speaking to all three of you, getting different opinions like we normally do, and just looking at it through a different lens. Like you said, we all laughed. As soon as you mentioned, what's wrong with her? You understand? We thought you were sipping again. But you know, we got through the whole topic and shared this constructive thought and everything. Yeah, so this was good. This was good.
Thank you. And thank you both for playing along. Once again, we go from, you know, serious to funny to ridiculous all in one episode, regardless of what the topic is. So I appreciate that. I appreciate the layers.
Theoretically.
Theoretically. We got another word. There's another word that we have to add.
There you go.
Theoretically now. So we got to put that.
Was this a date with this young dude that asked you that?
That's what we doing?
No, I'm just asking.
While we on air, that's what we doing?
I'm curious.
Y'all, we got to go. It is completely
while we on air. Jai, hit the button so we can find out. Jai, hit the button. Hit
the button. Thank y'all.
You gotta close out, D1. You gotta close out.
Thank y'all for listening to today. Not right, not wrong. Making Opinions Cool Again, everybody's favorite podcast every week, 6 p.m. on 92.6 The Spot. Hit us up on YouTube, IG, Facebook, X. Can't call it Twitter no more, right? X.
Everywhere, though.
We everywhere. Everywhere. Spotify, Apple Music, do the thing.
Everywhere.
Black owned.
They're ready.
Good night. Toodles.